Whenever I hop on Hinge, I'll see at least one, men don't yearn like they used to. Okay? Ditto. What are you talking about? Like the last time a girl acted like she was yearning for me and then told me we were exclusive, within 1 week she was sleeping with other guys. Explain that one.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 650.
Oh, you're joking, right?
No.
You're joking.
Yours is not 4. Come on.
Why do men pursue you and then the energy just fizzles out? Well, the answer is simple. Because they got to know you. They might have been attracted to you physically, but once they got to know your personality, it just felt like you weren't a fit. Ladies, we have to stop demonizing men for doing what they're supposed to be doing while dating, which is determining if you're a good match for them.
The 3 best places to meet girls right now. Pickleball. It's the fastest growing sport in the world, and I see cute single girls at the courts all the time. Beer gardens. Put on your best flannel, pop by a beer garden, and take advantage of the fall weather. Tailgates. There's food, good energy, and a natural way to start a conversation. What more do you need?
A lot of these modern women are leaving good men because he's too predictable. He's too stable. He's too available, if that makes any kind of sense. And now you go out there chasing unavailable men that just want to, put you through the mattress and then send you on out the door with a cup of Starbucks coffee. Is that the life that you want for yourself? Probably not.
Question for the men. Why is it that men have stopped approaching women in public? Because I feel like back in the day, like early 2000s, maybe the 90s, it was so common for men to walk up to women, strike up a little conversation, and just see where things go. But nowadays, I don't see that happening anymore. Why? Like, what exactly changed for you guys?
They're gonna ask me why you like married women, because they easier to than single women. Married nowadays is not loyal at all to their husband. Them is easier to than single women. You meet a married woman, if a married woman give you her number today, you her by the night. Single woman give you her number today, you ain't for the next 2 months until you take on 80 dates. The most so-called loyal out here the easiest. I'm gonna say it.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
Many women have masculine energy. That's not a bad thing. You may be more driven or more focused. That's awesome. But if you want to be in a romantic relationship with a masculine man, you need to leave your masculine energy at the office and embrace your femininity at home. A woman's femininity, her softness, her receptivity, her admiration, and affection are all qualities that men crave.
A lot of these modern women say things like, oh, I don't want a man that has to have me, that's desperate, that's afraid to lose me. I want a man that wants me there because that means more to me. Unfortunately, with the behaviors that these modern women exhibit, nobody wants you around. So congratulations. The moment you start acting stupid is the moment that man is probably going to bounce.
I'd rather be the 3rd wheel or the 5th wheel or the 7th wheel than show up to a birthday of one of my friends and have the dude I'm with complain about how much money he had to spend at the event. Because none of the other dudes at the event are complaining. And I'm sure not gonna be the only one to be there with a broke dude. So, you know what? I'd rather just stay alone.
So this guy that's been trying to take me out, finally picked a day. And so I was like, okay, well, what time and where? And he said, well, I don't know. Do you like coffee? Now, on a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being super bit and 0 being no bitch at all, can I respond never on a first date?
This is the exact attitude that is honestly exhausting for men. My honest advice is to please show this attitude off as soon as possible to the men that you're speaking to, because at least then they will have an honest take of who you are as a person and how it would be to be in a relationship with you. And then at least that man will be free to either just focus on his own peace or find somebody else to focus on.
A lot of these modern women think that good men are an endangered species, and they're not actually scarce or rare, and they're not actually hiding. As a matter of fact, if you pay attention, which is what you should be doing when you move throughout the world anyway, then you're going to see one. A lot of times modern women are mentally lazy, especially when it comes to dating. So they're not going to see the good man right in front of them because their brain is turned off and it's on autopilot. And they're thinking about a lot of times a lot of foolishness.
Gentlemen, if you're in your 40s and you're single, your dating value market is at an all-time high. And I'm not saying this just to hype you up, but I have spoken to a lot of my clients who are 40 plus and they don't see their own value. Here are some problems that I see. Number one, you focused on your increasing age when the woman hasn't. If you're young at heart, you can be 70 and still find a catch. In therapy, I call this a limiting self-belief or age excuses, to be blunt. Secondly, you're over 40, but you're just done with all the BS. You have just been through so much that now you have this overreactive BS radar. And lastly, if you're 40, single, unmarried, or divorced, women will wonder if you are traumatized. Make sure you call it out and set your intentions clearly and confidently.
A lot of the times we say this and then, we'll walk around with a resting bitch face, headphones on, looking down, like not really being approachable whatsoever. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I talk about that a lot too. I talk about the RBF. I talk about, I can understand. So let me start there. I can actually understand why that's the case because most women want to get approached when they want to get approached.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that just dwindles you down to a very small space that you don't leave the door open. You you have this door and it says closed on it and you expect guys to pursue a closed door. It's really difficult for them. So I always tell women to choose men. By the way, that's always happened. This isn't new. Women have always chosen men. They just haven't done it in the way that they think I'm expressing it.
So
it's
how
not
do
like
you think we should choose men?
Well, I mean,
and I do understand when women say, oh man, men love bomb me. They do these things. They do X, Y, and Z. I get it. You don't want that, and men shouldn't be doing that. But modern women, some of these modern women's, their gauge is so warped and it's so bad that they think that a man is love bombing them when he's actually just been a genuine person. But they don't know what that looks like, and they don't even know that the questions asked to even verify if that's what he's doing.
Why should a guy date you?
Well, I put them as my number one priority, loyal, and I don't entertain any other guys. They have my full attention.
And you think a man values loyalty the most in his woman?
Yes, 100%.
Why would a man want that?
Because why does a man want a girl that talks to 50 million other guys?
So if we were dating and then you had a guy slide in your DMs and he said, hey, you're beautiful, how would you respond to him?
Wouldn't.
You wouldn't tell him, sorry, I have a boyfriend, nothing?
I wouldn't respond at all. I'd send it to my boyfriend and I wouldn't respond at all.
What gives you that mentality?
Because I want the same respect. So I'm going to respect them to have that same respect in return.
So you're a man, if a chick DM'd him, he should act the same way?
Yes, 100%.
What if your man was like a gynecologist and he worked around women all the time? Would you feel a type of way about that?
If he gave me a reason not to trust him, then yeah. But if he gave me every reason to trust him, then no.
A lot of these modern women, if a man doesn't tell them that he's a good man, like if he doesn't bend over backwards and tell her or to show her, basically simp for her, then she's not going to know that he's a good man. She can't observe like she's asking him to observe. She can't observe and then say, oh, that's a great guy. She doesn't have the ability once again, because she hasn't really trained herself on how to do that. And so once again, she continues to pick terrible men over and over again because she don't really know what she's looking for. She's just watching too much TV.
As a man, if you were single, would you enjoy a woman kind of like, approaching you, or do you like to do the approaching?
So from my perspective, as a man who's very competitive, I don't want a woman to chase me. I feel like, to me, that just instantly says like, I can have you. I don't want a woman that I can eat, because then I feel like in my head, because of my past trauma and all the women that I was with, that if I can have you, any man out here can have you just as easy as I can have you. For most men, like, it depends. I'm gonna say this too. So I'm playing both sides of the fence. As a human being, I think you should be able to approach anything you want in life. Or if you are a woman and you see a man that you want, you should definitely go after that man and try. And even if it's not directly like saying, I want to be with you, I want to take you on a date, you know, because as a woman, you're not going to, you see how they reacting? So you have to get in the sight of his eye line. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're saying be seen?
Be seen.
We're gonna be seen regardless.
And if he approach you, he approach you. But if he don't approach you and he don't say a word to you
then
because you got pride and you got ego, then that's on you. You took
it's not my nigga.
A lot of these modern women, it seems like they have this abundance mindset when it becomes, you know, I'll always have another friend, or I'll always run to another networking event or connection. But when it comes to dating and good men, they don't have this same abundance mindset. Oh, well, you know, you got the last good man. No, there's a good man right there in front of your face. Just you don't really know what to look for, and you haven't really trained yourself on what to look for. And so you think that good men are few and far between, but your vetting process is trash.
You never want to be wifey material. If a man ever calls you wifey material, run. He thinks you're dumb.
Yep.
He thinks you're dumb.
In case you didn't know that, ladies, that is not a flex. He's like, I can pull the wool over her eyes. She's a dumb. That's literally what they're not going to say that to you, but that's what they're thinking. And that's why they will marry you, because they're like, I want a dummy. So that's why I'm going to go get one. And I'm talking about these particular men who think this way. Men obviously don't think their wives are dummies. But these red pill men,
and they'll be the ones that call you wifey material because that's like your role. Like they think that should be like your role in life.
What you're supposed to do.
And they think it's a compliment. And it's like, no, like that means they haven't listened to a single thing you've said about yourself. That means they don't give a about your ambitions, your goals, your hopes and dreams.
They don't care
exactly. And that's why they say that. No, because they really do mean it. And like at this point, they're kind of starting to just say the quiet part out loud for sure.
You'll find that decent, like good quality men. I don't know if I've ever heard them say, you wifey material. Like, I don't even know if they've ever even said that. Like, what?
Most toxic relationships don't have a villain and a victim. They have two broken people triggering the hell out of each other. Here's how it goes. One feels disrespected, the other feels controlled. One shuts down, the other screams. Then the labels come out. You're abusive, you're toxic, you're a narcissist. Nobody stops to ask the real questions. How the hell did we get here? Because real relationships, they don't explode overnight. We know this. They decay slowly. Ignored conversations, swallowed resentment, broken trust, zero boundaries, and two idiots who should have walked away years ago. Then one day, the pressure cooker explodes. And here's the truth that most couples don't like me saying. You both are the problem. You bring out the absolute worst in each other, and you shouldn't be together. And that's okay, because not every relationship is meant to survive, and not every single person is meant to stay in your life forever. Staying in a cycle of blame and fighting will destroy you both. Real growth is looking at each other and saying, you know what? We're toxic together, and then walking away.
A lot of these modern women, they get online crying about how they left a good man and how they regret it. I regret my divorce and all that other stuff. But all of this regret that you have doesn't really change the fact. Regret doesn't rewind time, right? And so when you try to come back to that man, which a lot of these modern women do, he's not going to be the same man that you left. He's likely going to be healed. He's likely going to grow. He's likely going to start doing other things to help himself move forward, regardless of if you like it or not. And he's going to find somebody else to appreciate him in the way that you didn't, and you're wasting people's time. So have a nice life.
She's about to explain why she's not dating in 2026, and I do agree on some points.
The reason why I'm not dating right now is because if we start talking, I'm expecting to be the only person you're talking to. Yup.
Now, expecting something and not establishing something is two different things. If you don't have a conversation that, hey, are we exclusively dating, or are you talking to other people, he doesn't have to do that. And the same thing goes for you, men. If you're not exclusively dating, if you don't state that it's just me and you dating, the woman is liable to date other people.
I said it. I don't like to be in competition for what I want. And if you really wanted me, you wouldn't have me be in competition.
Now that's wrong. Because even if you guys establish a relationship, you're always in competition. If you're not doing what you're supposed to in a relationship, aka become complacent, that other person's going to be seeking out other people. So if you're doing what you're supposed to, you don't got to really worry about the competition.
I don't want to hear the excuses because focus naturally shifts. So if your focus hasn't shifted naturally only to me, that's all I needed to know.
Well, I'll say that you're right about that, but what are you giving him in return to focus on? If you're not reciprocating the same energy, he's liable to focus on somebody else. So dating in 2026 is not bad. It's just people with bad intentions.
Ladies, stop being taken advantage of. If you're single, you should have a roster. I don't care. You should be having a roster. I'm talking guy A, B, and C. Unless you guys have verbally said you guys are together, you should be seeing multiple people. Here's why. If you're a C, high value man, trust, if he hasn't told you that he is being exclusive with, he's seeing other women. So you should be assuming the same. By the way, it's called the game for a reason. It's supposed to be fun. You have multiple people in your roster who are allowing yourself to weigh your options. It's very important. Women are at risk of overcommitting to one person, especially after physical intimacy. They tend to overcommit to one guy when no commitment has been made. By having a roster, you stop yourself from pining over one guy, obsessing over him, sitting by your phone. It's not good for you. Who cares about him? It's not, if a guy has not made it clear, not verbally stated you guys are exclusive, you should have a roster. This is Jomo, and I just put you guys on game. By the way, ladies, me and some friends are starting a dating show. Well, do we like him? On the show, guys will come on stage and basically you can have your pick. Do we like him collectively or not? If we don't like him, tell him why. I mean, honestly, it's supposed to be helpful. If we like him, then you can go on a date with him on stage. It'll be so fun, okay? Trust me, this is gonna be chill vibes. It's so fun, so amazing. You guys should come. Our show's gonna be in New York City. Can't wait to see you there. Bye.
When a man tells you that he thinks you're wifey material, what he's telling you is that he sees in you a good servant.
Right. Sadly, though, there are some women out there that genuinely believe this, and that would be because they have encountered that small minority of men that unfortunately do want their wives to be nothing more than servants. But even more unfortunately, those women that actually believe this seem to lack the critical thinking skills to understand that not all men are the same.
When he says he sees wifey material, you need to hear that he sees you're easy to exploit.
What's really sad is there seems to be an ever-increasing number of women that will try to find any way to try to make themselves out to be a victim.
A man who sees you as wifey material is planning for you to have a nice long life of cleaning his dishes, washing his socks, and getting on your knees whenever he wants you to.
Some really do try, don't they?
As I recently heard a man say online, you may not be feeling so well, but your mouth still works. That's how they see us. That's what wifey material is. Wifey material is an insult.
Take a lesson. That is how prejudice starts. Someone takes one thing that apparently a rather uneducated individual said and applies it to an entire population. That's exactly how that happens.
If a man ever said his ex left him and he makes it seem like he did everything for her and she was so unappreciative and she was so ungrateful, you're going to see exactly why that woman left. Women do not leave good men.
I was about to go to bed. I was doom scrolling through TikTok, about to fall asleep. I was calling it for a night. But then I saw this video. Did she just say, women don't leave good men? Did she just say, women don't leave good men? I'm a man right here, and I'll admit that men leave good women, and women leave good men. What are you talking about? Were we not just a couple weeks talking about that lady that left her husband because she said he was too perfect? She said he was too perfect. Everything was too safe. Everything was too stable. So she left her husband. Then we had another video. Then we had another video where Shorty left her stable, secure husband because she felt like her life didn't have enough excitement. Then she tried to go start dating again. And she realized that nobody outside cares about her the way her husband did. But then by the time she realized that her husband didn't want her back. How out of touch do you have to be to get up on here on the internet and say women don't leave good men? This is crazy.
When a man tells you he feels disrespected and your first instinct is to argue with him about why he is wrong, you are not defending yourself. You are actively destroying your own relationship. And most women don't even realize they are doing it. We are obsessed with being loved, the romance, the long text paragraphs, the constant validation and reassurance. But we completely ignore how male psychology actually works. For a grown man, respect and love are not two different things. They are the exact same thing. When you belittle his decisions, when you correct every little thing he does, when you speak to him like he is beneath you, he does not feel unloved. He feels disrespected. And to him, those two things are identical. You cannot emasculate a man in front of his friends and then wonder why he stopped being affectionate. You cannot treat him like an incompetent child and then cry to the group chat that he doesn't lead like a man. You cannot nag a man into being a protector, and a man will endure almost anything for a woman who genuinely honors him. But the second he feels like an ongoing joke in your life, his emotional walls go up permanently. If you want a strong masculine man to cherish you, stop speaking to him like he is your misbehaving teenage son. Give him his respect back.
Most men are so afraid of rejection and getting turned down by a girl that they take almost no chances with them, and then they wonder why they're not getting dates or why they're getting ghosted when they do try to get dates. To stop this from happening, you have to start taking some risks, man. You have to start sending some messages that seem a little outrageous, but if they're confident and fun and playful and flirty, that is the way to go. So many guys text so dry and boring and like they're sending some kind of corporate email. If you're too afraid when you're having your interaction and you're tiptoeing, what happens is you end up having this boring, dry conversation, and these girls are just bored out of their mind. And girls just want to have fun, so if you're boring them, you're literally turning them off and drying them up as well. Remember, if you're afraid to lose her, dude, then you already have. So when you make it fun and exciting and crazy and she's not giving you much back, then you know that she's pretty boring, and then maybe she's not even worth your time, and it's time to move on to the next. Bells, baby. Next, you just got to get into the abundance mindset, right? You're stuck on the scarcity mindset. You're too afraid to lose them, and that's why you're going to lose them, because you're afraid of it. It's how the mindset works. Your dominant thoughts attract more thoughts of that nature, and your thoughts become your reality. If you need help with dating and getting in the right mindset, getting in shape, getting over a breakup, whatever it might be when it comes to attracting the right people in your life, and learning to love yourself on a deep level so that you can attract the right people in your life, comment or DM the word evolve. And remember, if you're doing the same things and getting the same results, then you have to try new things to get new results. Step outside of your comfort zone. Be fun. Be exciting. Take some chances.
So, who can shine in the relationship? Both of you can shine in different ways, okay? You're not supposed to shine in the same way a man is supposed to shine, and a man is not supposed to shine in the same way as you're supposed to shine. It is two complete opposites. Yin yang in this thing, you know? So, you shine in a feminine way, and he shines in a masculine way. Protection, provisions, masculinity, intelligence. That's how a man shines. A woman shines in femininity, beauty, knowing when to do something and when not to do something, phases. Do you understand? Your intelligence is more in phases, cycles, and it's more hidden. Okay, you're the moon. He's the sun. Understand it. Know your power. They're both very powerful in different ways. Okay? So know how to maneuver that. If you're trying to do too much and you're trying to outshine a masculine man and as a masculine woman, it's not going to work out. You're going to bump. You're going to repel each other. You know? A lot of men are repelled by competitive masculine women because they're masculine men. But a lot of masculine men are attracted to feminine women because they both can shine at the same time. Nothing takes away. They actually feed each other. Do you understand? So, knowing that, you got to understand it.
I'm old school, traditional. Like I like to be chivalrous. You know what I mean? I like that idea of taking the woman out and going out, paying for the dinner, hoping that my credit card don't bounce. You know what I mean? But no, all those things are cool. But I love this trend though too, because I think it's also flipping the script on this new wokeness or whatever it's called. You know what I mean? They putting the mirror in the face, making fun of it, and saying, "Hey, I'm the soft guy. Do all these things." Because I think when you put the face or when you flip the mirror on them, I think it makes them realize, and when I say them, meaning the movement, makes them realize how silly it is. Like we all like the way it used to be, right? Take me out to dinner, buy my dinner. Let's make some, some love. You know what I mean?
When Joe and I first started dating, this is when we started getting more serious. I actually saved some money and we went on a trip together, and I actually took him to Spain. Ooh. And because I grew up in Spain, and I wanted him to experience what I grew up in, the culture that I grew up with, and I wanted him to get to know, and I wanted him to learn about Spain. Yeah, and I took him on a trip, and I was like, I'm taking you to Spain. And it was like, I wanted him to experience it. Right. So I took him on our first big trip together, and I was like, I did this for you.
Yeah. I have questions.
Yes.
Did he put out since you took him on this big trip? Did you take his passport?
Allie telling the story makes me feel like she still holds this trip over Joe's head. Like, remember when? I took you to Spain? Yes. On our first vacation.
Relationship boundaries is one of the biggest problems that people have in their relationship. Let's talk about it. Setting and respecting boundaries is one of the most important things between the union of you and your spouse, but a lot of people don't understand how serious it is. When I say setting and respecting boundaries for your relationship, I'm talking about the two of you together setting boundaries for outside people. Sometimes you have to know how to read the room. If something is making you uncomfortable between an interaction between one person with your spouse, and that person is constantly overstepping their boundaries, it's because your spouse hasn't set those boundaries in place to let that person know that they're overstepping them. Not only is this disrespectful, but it's a red flag that you need to pay attention to. If somebody is overly friendly with your partner, it's because your partner allows it. If somebody who knows you guys are in a relationship continues to do things that they know you're uncomfortable with, it's because your partner hasn't addressed it and told them to stop doing it. It's also a lack of respect on your partner's behalf. And one excuse that's always been a red flag to me is when someone says that they don't want to address a certain situation because in their eyes it wasn't that big of a deal and they didn't want to be embarrassed by having to put that person in their place. But if the other party's feelings matter more than the person you're in the relationship with, something's wrong. Now let me just say this. If you don't respect or have those relationship boundaries set up, don't require something that you're not giving. Fellas, if you have a decent woman or a good looking woman, you know it's natural that people are going to shoot their shot at her. It's something you wouldn't have to worry about if relationship boundaries are set up and respected, because your woman is going to know how to handle that at all times. Yeah, people may shoot their shot at her, but she's going to respectfully let them know it's not cool to cross those boundaries. But on the flip side, don't expect her to handle situations a certain way when you're not doing the same. Just remember, nobody can walk through a door that hasn't been opened, and they can't crawl through a window that's closed. Stay woke, y'all.
A lot of these men, because they're good dudes, modern women be storming out on them. They be acting crazy with them, and they be like, man, what did I do wrong? And was it my fault? No, bro, it's not. She was crazy, man. Now, I encourage you to look at, hey, what did I do wrong? What did I say wrong? How did I act in a relationship? I encourage you to do that. But sometimes, man, there ain't nothing that you could do. You've done all you could. And then the things that you didn't do right, you've tried to correct. That's really all you can do. If these modern women still act stupid with you, don't stay, man. Do not stay.